Have you ever wondered what that one game was that you played a long time ago on your mother's phone and you could never seem to figure out what it was? Well, this is one of those games for me. This game is called Dirt, released by Broken Kings. I honestly don't know how I found this game or how I even remembered because I was only 5 years old, but this game was something absolutely bizarre to me. It was always so eerie and something was off. But since I was a kid borrowing my mom's phone, I could never fully figure out what that was. And today, we're getting closer to what it could have been. But unfortunately, the game is delisted and lost to time. So the most I'll be able to provide you is some screenshots and some videos. So let's begin with part 1. The footage we have today, the only footage we have today, is from AppSpy all the way back 15 years ago. That's nuts, dude. That's absolutely insane. But yeah, thank you to AppSpy, if they're even still around. And yeah, let's get into the gameplay of this specific game. And they'll go over some things that we'll brush up on later in the video.
It's getting harder and harder to escape the influence of the time vacuum that is Minecraft, and its inspirational effects seem to be leaking across the gaming world as a whole. Dirt by Broken Kings is a relatively short, abstract narrative title that places you in control of a cat skeleton, attempting to work out who he is and why he's digging around underground in a persistent world. Players start out in a large empty room armed with little more than a pickaxe and the ability to switch the gravity by rotating their eye device. Tapping the screen will allow you to move and dig in the direction indicated, allowing you to explore beyond the screen you're on to an infinite collection of randomized screens, occasionally populated with collectible gems and strange artifacts. In a neat twist, the world is persistent, and any progression made through the endless underground environment is saved so you can backtrack easily. Given the brevity of the story, I'll not go into details, but much like Spider, The Secret of Bryce Manor, it's told via found objects that are unlocked as you progress through your random ramblings. Once you've reached the current ending, all that's left is the ability to explore to your heart's content, finding all the weird and wonderful pieces of artwork hidden throughout the game. There's a zen-like appeal to the simple act of exploring environments without pressure, especially when you can backtrack quickly simply by falling back through the passages you've made. But without a way to track the objects you've found via a checklist or a similar system, the novelty of finding new ones can wear thin. Dirt is a pleasantly heartwarming title, but beyond the narrative, it fails to remain an engaging experience.
We immediately start off the game with the question, Dirt, where are you? Now, so far, as you've seen with the other video, you dig more and more to discover parts of yourself through these kind of set pieces. And through the mining, you basically find parts of yourself and what had happened to you and where you are now. And then the more you dig, the memories of family members you used to stay with whenever you were once alive begin to show, and you start to remember all the memories you've had with your loved ones and how the causes of your death has affected them, which through these screenshots doesn't seem like it came out of nowhere. We see in this photo of the cat laying with the daughter who is sick, we see that the cat stays by her side the whole way through. And then after that, we see the cat stay in its kennel or its cat bed and lying there for several moments. And then we see part of its body eating away at itself as if there is something wrong with it internally. And we see the cat not eat throughout multiple of the screenshots, as if maybe it has some kind of tapeworm or something wrong with it, or maybe whatever the little girl had, it transferred over to the cat and slowly began killing it. But then, at the end of all that, you see the last sequence, right as you see how you've died, and you see how the family reacted to it all. The aftermath, the chaos, all of it came to this. My final thoughts on this game is that this isn't supposed to be a game that you're supposed to play, but a game that you're supposed to figure out experiences through. Now, I say this because the core gameplay isn't necessarily anything crazy, but the story that it tells is very meaningful and it's not much substance, but it's enough to get the point across. I think the moral of the story that this was trying to tell was remembrance, not only from your side, but from the family side. We see this whenever you mine each individual block, it reveals a part of you that you've lost in your past life, a part of you that was with everyone that you cared about. Everyone that you cared about started to manifest. Every single thing in that mine that you dug through over and over and over again revealed everything that you lost. Everything that you've forgotten, you started to remember. And along with that, it's shown you how the family remembered you and how that they missed Dirt. They missed your character. They missed everything about it. And I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be as dark as I'm letting it be, but I do think that this story is to shed light on people who do think about harming themselves, and that, even though the game has a cat, that cat is to symbolize you if you do the dark things that you think of, or if you let life take you, and how remembrance can be painful and that it can harm people and that it can be an issue. And obviously, it's also showing the loss of a pet. But it's giving the pet human feeling. Like, I don't imagine a cat going through a mine and thinking how it got there or where it is. I'd imagine a cat would be incredibly confused that it's the skeleton with a pickaxe mining through dirt trying to figure out its life. I don't think cats are that complex. I think this game is trying to show you that, I think that's why it's so eerie, is because those thoughts aren't good, and that the actions that lead to the outcomes are bleak, dark, and very, very disturbing. This game isn't meant to be a game. It's meant to give you a lesson. And who knows why it got delisted. Honestly, as a kid, I got so scared of the game I couldn't play it longer than 15 minutes. And can you blame me? It's pretty fucking disturbing. But that is the end of this video. This was a cool little review, and honestly, it was kind of fun going through every single hoop and hurdle that I could. Now, I'm just going to show you the credits. If it wasn't for Reddit, Dubon, website, whatever it's called, and GameSpy, I would not have the amount of information that I have now. So, credits to them, and y'all have a good night. Don't end up like Dirt. Moral of the story.